First of all, I'd like to thank everybody for coming there. I know there are people coming in and out of it. Once again, this is the Cyber Expo 2014 web conference. I'd like to thank all the speakers so far. We already had Price Healy, Peter Nigerian, and now I'm going to come up and talk a little about a high-frequency trade. We also, right after I'm done, we're going to have Andrew Keene, Tom Busby, and the famous Norman Hallett at the end. So once again, it's a great Cyber Expo of all the team players, all the all-stars in the education industry. And once again, feel free to make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube channel and our Twitter page. I'll let you guys know at the end of this presentation, actually the end of my presentation, how you can be able to watch all these great educational lessons for free. And if you want to know more about the speakers, how to find out more about them. All right, so once again, let me just change my slide and we will be getting started. Hold on. All right, can everyone see my slideshow presentation? Just give me a chat back and let me know. All right, fabulous. All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, my name is Fausto Pugliese. I'm the president and founder of Cyber Trading University. I'd like to thank all of you for making it on a Saturday. I know on your busy day. We had a great lineup of speakers here today talking about everything: stocks, options, futures, Forex, stock trading, day trading, swing trading. So there's a lot of education. I know it's a lot to consume in a short period of time, but you know what? The great thing about these webinars is we do record them, and you could always go back to your listening pleasure. Now, regardless about what we talked about before with Peter Nigerian, once again, make sure to find out and come visit us, including myself in Las Vegas, for that June 13th event. You could always click on my name. There's a little pin right there, and you can register for that event. Now, what I'm going to be talking about, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be talking about high-frequency trades and what it's like to trade with a 12-time champion. Because, yes, I am a 12-time champion. I competed against every school in the industry, and I beat every single school in the industry. And I'm going to show you why, you know, if you're looking to trade and actively trade, which is not a full-time job, let me remind you, I'm going to talk a little bit about how it works and how to do it in today's great market. Now, just a quick little intro about myself and talk a little bit about why you should be listening and what we're doing here and what I'm going to be educating a lot of you what to do. I started the company back in 1995. Now, how I got into the education business is very, very simple. Before I was a very successful trader, I was actually a very successful loser because I never knew how to trade. I was one of those self-taught individuals coming out of college. I said, you know what, let me start trading money, and didn't realize that to trade, you need to be trained. And I was never trained how to trade the market. And I know some of you here probably do the same thing. Go out there, if you want to practice trading, you do it on your own. Well, fortunately, living in New York, I was trained by some of the best traders in the world, from all the top traders all over the world, and because this is the financial capital of the world. And let me tell you what I've learned. On the first day on the job, should have never made my first trade. Now, what I'm going to be talking about right now is I'm going to educate you one of the things that completely turned and showed me that if I want to be successful, this is what you need to do. And it's what we used to call back in the old days, I don't know if any of you read any of the old books, but it was called Instinet. Some of you guys hear something called dark pools. Ooh, the dark pools. Well, we used to call that SelectNet back then, and I'm going to educate you guys a little bit about what that is. Now, how I got into the education business, which I know everybody always likes to know, is being a trader, it's a part-time job. And trading for me, I was very young. Because I started when I was 22, ended up becoming a very successful trader at 24. And when I was only working an hour a day, I had nothing else to do. So people kept asking me, could you teach me, Fausto? Could you show me? And let me tell you, I have a passion to teach. And I would like and hope no one goes through what I went through of going out there and being one of those self-taught individuals and doing it on your own. And over the years, Cyber Trading University was born, and one thing I always like to do, because I'm a little bit more of a competitor, I went out there and I went from China to Paris all over Canada and US and try to compete against any competition as I can, because being a trader on Wall Street, one of the things we're all very well known for is we're all day trading. Now, that doesn't sound, it's not a bad thing. People always look day trading as a bad thing. It's not. We all do it. Every trader on Wall Street does it. Because if you want to be a good swing trader, an options trader, the future trade, whatever it is, it all starts on what happens over the course of the day, which trickles down to that. And that's what I'm going to talk about. So let me just change the slide here, ladies and gentlemen. And a couple of things we're going to be learning. I'm going to talk about discipline. I'm going to talk about online brokers and direct access. I'm going to explain the difference between level 3, which is called total view. I'm going to talk about the KISS method on the charts, stocks that we traded, and so much more. And that's what I'm going to be covering. So let's talk really quick about direct access. Now, 50% of the people that trade in the market are going to fail because they have the wrong brokerage account. And let me explain to you what that is. I know I have a lot of students here, and I know I've trained some of you that are here that have gone through my program of training you, and a lot of you, hopefully, if anybody wants to know more about it, I'll tell you a little bit about it at the end of the presentation. But one of the things that everybody learns that I teach is everybody opens up a brokerage account without education. So what they do, the first thing they do is they say, let me try it and see how it is, and then I'll open up, and then I'll learn how to do it, which is, by the way, the biggest mistake of learning. What happens is that most of you open up an account with the wrong brokerage account. And every single one of you are a case-by-case basis. So don't come out there and just say in the chat room, Fausto, what do you think of this company? What do you think of that company? Listen, they're all great companies, but they could be the worst company for you because maybe it doesn't fit in your type of trading. Maybe they don't offer what you're looking to do. Maybe it doesn't fit your schedule. Listen, you have to look at us speakers here today as your doctors. We are the specialists, okay? And you're coming to a specialist, and we're here to consult you individually what is best for you. And that's why education is so important to know before you go make this investment, because it's a big pain in the butt to open up a brokerage account. Now, when it comes to direct access, online brokers and direct access are totally different, and I'll explain it very simply. Online brokers are like public transportation. You take the local bus, you take a cab. Basically, they have the license, they have the vehicle. You pay them a small fee, and they'll get you around town. Direct access is like driving your own car. Now, yes, it's more expensive. Yes, it's a little bit more involved, just like driving a car. It's easier to get chauffeured around, but we all know the major difference between public transportation and driving your own car is because we need to drive our own car. We can't depend on public transportation. They're good for certain situations, but not for everyday use. And every one of you here are trading every single day. If it's not every day, you have some association in the market because that's why you're here. So you need to make sure you have the right account for what you're looking to do. Now, once again, I'm going to invite all of you to come and see me next week to trade live with me. I run a professional trading room, and you'll see what real direct access trades are versus online trades. And you'll see that you've basically been trading blind this whole time. Now, not only that, but direct access trades, give you even more than just having a seat on the exchange. They give you great technology to see what you're doing. Now, let me explain this. I assume everybody, you've seen Peter Nigerian, you see him on TV all day long, our speaker, which I have to thank him again for being here. But besides having and watching all those great anchors on the TV show, do you ever see when they show the traders on the floor of the exchange? Do you ever see those big screens, all those monitors on the New York Stock Exchange? Do you ever see what they're looking at? Do you ever get an opportunity to know what they are? Okay, those are called the orders. Those are orders that are going on, and that is what I'm going to teach you. Remember, the biggest and simplest way of trading is following the money. We all could agree. How do stocks go up and down in the market? Supply and demand. Well, guess what? That technology, that orders, you could see those orders. So regardless of, if you're an options trader, a stock trader, a Forex trader, listen to the advantage that you get. You could see the buyers and sellers. So let's talk about the difference. And there is a major difference between level 2 and total view. Major difference. It's about 20 times more data. Does everybody understand that? 20 times more data. So let me kind of educate, just out of curiosity, and if everybody could just give me a chat back. Does anyone here know how to read level 2? Just let me know if you know how to read it. Just yes or no. Okay, wow, we got a lot of no's here. Okay. All right, well, there's 3 different levels. Level 1, level 2, and level 3. Level 1 is what you see every day on your online brokerage account, the ticker that you see on CNBC. Whenever they give you a quote, that's level 1. That's the best bid and best offer. Level 2, let me just get my crayons out here, guys. Okay, you can see my little dot right here. Level 2 is on the left. Level 3 is on the right. Okay. Now, level 2, let me just show you what we got here. B stands for buyers. S stands for sellers. You have 3 columns here. 1, 2, and 3. On the buy side, these are the buyers, and what they're doing is trying to buy the stock, SQNM. All right. Now, you have in those 3 columns, the first column is giving you a 4-letter abbreviation of the brokerage firm. For example, NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange, EDGX, the Philadelphia Exchange, Morgan Stanley, Knight Securities, Goldman Sachs, First Boston, Cantor Fitzgerald, Smith Barney, Deutsche Bank, Oppenheimer. One thing I teach you is first thing you need to know is who these market makers are, and you know them by their 4-letter name. Not very difficult at all. If anybody would like a list of them, feel free to email me and I'll send it over to you. The second column is the price that brokerage firm wants to buy that stock for. And the third column is the amount of shares. Everything there is multiplied by 100. So 2 is 200, 137 is 13,700, and so on. So what you're seeing is you're seeing the orders. You're seeing who's buying it, and on the other side, you're seeing who's selling it. Now, this is how level 2 works. Whoever wants to buy the stock for the most amount of money is up on top. Whoever wants to sell the stock for the least amount of money is up on the top ask price. And so basically what you're looking at is a negotiation system. Everybody's negotiating and putting limit orders where they want to buy it, where they want to sell it. Now, that is level 2. Now, level 2 is going to be gone. They're getting rid of level 2. Okay? They're getting rid of level 2 because NASDAQ knows that a lot of these market makers really don't kind of advertise what they really want to buy and sell anymore because of the availability to the general public. So what they're doing is now a lot of these market makers are hiding orders in something that's called high frequency trades on the level 3. Now, who here has total view, level 3? Steve, you think that's interesting? I didn't even get started yet. And believe me, I'm going to teach all of you one of the most important things about trading that you could even imagine, how simple and how easy it is that will change your life on the way you look at how to trade the market. All right, so it looks like a lot of you, once again, a lot of you saying no. Well, on the right, this is called total view, okay? This is what NASDAQ calls it. You can get New York stocks are on it, everything. And on the right, what you're seeing is this. Hold on, right here. Okay. This is where you see what's called the HFTs. Anybody know what HFTs are? High frequency trades are? Anybody here know an HFT? High frequency trades are what we used to call Instinet. This is where the institutions trade. Let me ask you all a question. How valuable would it be to you to see 70% of the volume? How valuable would that be? Gastron said very. John said, my God, it would change my life. Robert says ditto, extreme, Michael, good. 70% of the volume. Well, remember what I told you in the beginning of this presentation. Before I was a successful trader, I was one of you until finally I came to my senses to listen to a true professional trader and market maker, which is what I was. And this is what they told me. This is Fausto. Why would you go out there and try to invent the wheel and think you know more than the guy who traded 70% of the volume? Wouldn't it be easier just to follow them? Think about it. You trade a stock that trades 10 million shares. 7 million is being controlled by institutions. What are you trading, a couple of hundred? Who do you think is going to influence the price of the stock? You or the guy who traded 7 million? So why sit there and try to invent the wheel? Just follow what they do. Watch what they do. So this is how high-frequency trades work. Now, you're getting 20 times more data. Now, you have to understand something. Market makers only show you the best bid and best offer. They're not showing you all the orders. They only show you, you only see on level 2 their best bid and best offer. But Total View is showing you all their bids and all their offers. See what I'm saying? Big difference. Now, here's an example. Does everyone here know how to read charts? Anybody here know how to read, read a chart? I think that's the first thing people learn. They're like, yeah, of course I know. Wow, it's amazing. I haven't gotten out one no. Well, one person said, Mike goes, I think I do. Well, I'm going to teach how to read charts, keeping it simple. A lot of us make charts a little bit more complicated than what you really have to. So what I have over here on the left-hand side is just a basic bar chart, okay? Now, I'm going to draw a trend line here. All right? Here's my little trend lines. Everybody see that? Okay. So you can see here the stock went to a high, hit 298, came back down. Okay, hit a support level at 292. Now the stock is right back up to 298 again. Now, in theory, due to what happened in the past, what should the stock do? Should the stock go up or go down? Everyone, put your answers in there. Don't be shy. No one's going to pick on you. Okay. Everybody, wow, we got looks like we have 95% of you are saying down. Okay, a few of you saying up. Okay, so, well, obviously you're right. When you have resistance and you hit a resistance, the stock's supposed to go down. Now, we all know stocks breaks resistance levels all the time. Well, to break a resistance, what do you need? Buyers. Well, what makes a resistance? Sellers. So when you look here on the high-frequency trade, look at the orders. You have a 2,000 share seller versus a 75,000 share buyer. Now, who do you think has more control of influencing the price of the stock? The 75,000 or the 2,000 share seller? I know it's a very dumb question, right? Of course, the 75,000. So now ask yourself a question. When you trade the market and you go out there and you look at all these resistance levels and all these buyers, do you see the 75,000 share buyer? How many times have you bought a stock and you were so damn sure that it was going to hold and it breaks it? I know. Ricky's saying no. Carl's saying no. Gary says no. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what changed my life of realizing that I was on the wrong side every time. Here's an example. Here's another stock. Hits our resistance levels right there, It goes up, it goes down. It breaks the resistance, okay, goes to a new resistance, right? Let me draw a trend line here. But what happened in the past doesn't indicative what's going to happen right now, because the price of the stock is trading at 662. So the thing is this: for this stock to hit a support level and go back up, for it to go back to 695 or 670, wherever it is, it's got to get through this 45,000 share seller. That 45,000 share seller is probably that resistance levels right there. A couple of questions coming across here. How would you know, though, that those buyers have also been aborted and sold? You know what? That's a great question. Question is, how do you know those are real orders? You know what? I was on the panel about 6 months ago, and in one of these expos, and it was just one of the people on the panel was an analyst, and he kind of a little bit challenged me, and he goes, "Fausto, you can't really believe that's really a real order." And you know what I told him? I says, "Really? Okay, you know what? I'll make you a bet. I bet you you put up 100, I'll put up $1,000. Okay, go out there and execute that guy for 45,000. If you get executed, you owe me 100. If I'm wrong, I'll pay you 1,000." You know what he said? He goes, "I don't want to take that bet." And I'm like, "Why not? I'm paying you 10 times on your money. I'm getting 10 times odds. If you believe that's a fake order, why don't you execute it?" And you wouldn't answer the question. So the bottom line is this: it is a real order. Now, can he cancel the order? Of course he could. Listen, you change your mind all the time, right? So always look at it that way. So moving on, ladies and gentlemen, because I don't have too much time. I know even though it's got 20 minutes, but I got a bunch of slides I want to go through and want to kind of show you some good stuff. Here's another example. Questions. Is it illegal for institutions to put large orders pretending they are sellers? Sam, is it illegal for you to put an order out there and then cancel your order with your online broker? Is there anything illegal about that? There's nothing wrong about it. There's nothing illegal. You could change your mind. Listen, I went out there and I decided I didn't want to sell it. You know, it's the way it goes. Well, Bryce, you have to understand something. There are a lot of, brokerage firms that do offer you the total view. So the thing is this: what I recommend you to do is ask your brokerage firm, ask them if they have total view, not level 2 total view. If they don't, I'll give you my personal email address, and you can email me, and I'll tell you where to get it. But the thing is this, guys: just because you're learning it doesn't mean you know how to trade it. Okay, so please don't just because I'm showing you what it does, I didn't even teach you how to use it yet. Right now, I'm just showing you the power of you guys being on 70% of the side of where the institution's on. Okay, so let's move on. We got a couple of examples here. Here's another example. Here you have a stock right now testing a resistance levels, right? And you're sitting there wondering and saying, "Oh, look at that resistance levels. You know, the stock is breaking a daily high," and you're looking at that resistance and like, well, is it really going to break it? Well, let me tell you, the only way it could break it if somebody executes that guy for 12,000. And you know what? If it does break it, then it might go to this resistance levels, which is right here, and that guy is the 10,000 share seller. You see, 700 shares don't scare me. 300 shares don't scare me. But when you get a big block order of 10,000, that kind of brings up a little red flag. You see, the thing is this, guys: how many of you here trade and have a game plan? How many of you here know where those orders are? Remember, all it's doing is helping you, not hurting you. Justin says nada. By the way, if any of you guys are having any issues and you can't see, just log out and log back in, and you should be able to get your screen up and running, okay? All right. A couple other questions coming across here. Paul's a question: does institutions place high price and effort to push the price up or test? You know, that's a great question, Paul. You know what? And the question is yes and no. But once again, that's something I need to show you, and I'll be happy to show you that at the end of my presentation. I'll show you how you can come and join me and trade with me in the real market hours and see this data live, okay? Which I don't know if everyone here has ever seen that before, okay? Now, here's another example. You know, once again, going back and forth. You know, we all see stocks, how they make big runs from $9 to $11, and you wonder, why is it testing resistance? Why these things back off? Why do you have resistance levels? Because you need to see where the orders are. You know, you might not look at it as a major resistance levels, but you need to see where other big block orders are. Because there is something called refreshing, meaning I can go out there and sell 2,000 shares at a clip every time. So it might not look like a big order out there as much as you might sometimes see at 10,000 or 50,000. But one of the little strategies what market makers do is they'll just keep what they'll do in what's called refreshing. And this is something that you guys need to see. Josh, once again, I don't trade with any of those brokerage firms. You know, they're great companies, and I don't want to mention who they are, but once again, that, you know, some of them are more geared to trade against you than with you. Now, that's right, Jim. Those are what we call iceberg orders. That's a, you know, some people quote unquote call them iceberg orders. Okay. Now, here's another example. Look at the time right here. Does everybody see that time right there? 10:57. All right. Now, what I want you to see right here, ladies and gentlemen, you see this resistance levels right here on the chart? You see how the stock went up, came back down, went up, okay? Now, what I want you to notice is you see right here, there's a 14,000 share seller out there at $5, okay? And what is the price of the stock doing? It's going down. Down 71% today, down $12. Beautiful short, right? Look at the time in sales. A lot of reds, meaning there's a lot of transactions going off the bid. So sometimes you guys ever get caught up and do what's called bottom fishing and thinking like, oh my God, I own the stock at $17 and your broker might call you up, you got to buy more at 4, you average down. One of the biggest sucker bets out there. You know, but meanwhile, how do you know that it's going to bounce? Well, you know what? Until you see the 14,000 share buys out there and see stocks, you know, and not getting all this bleeding going on in time and sales, that's going to cause a lot to do with it. Dennis says, what is refreshing? Refreshing means when a market maker keeps updating his quote, meaning they keep pulling out more shares to sell. They don't. Sometimes they don't know. It's a strategy. Sometimes they don't go out there and will divulge how many shares they will have to sell. They'll just keep selling more and more. All right. Now, getting back to the same slide. Now, remember, look at the time here, 10:57. Okay. Now, literally 3 minutes later, look at the price of the stock. Now we went from 5. Now we're down to 487. It is going down. And now that big seller that we saw at 5 is now has moved his order down to 489. So he keeps offering it lower and lower and lower. And what's happening when they keep doing that? The price goes down. Okay? That is something that you guys have to understand. You see, like I mentioned to all of you earlier, I was trained by some of the best traders on Wall Street, from Goldman Sachs, from Merrill. I live here in New York. I was trained by some of the best traders. This is the financial capital of the world. And I was fortunate to sit there and do exactly what you guys are doing right now today and says, you know what? I want to trade as a career, because when I started, being a trader was the most prestigious job. And you'll notice that everybody that is a speaker here, you know, Andrew Keene, Tom Busby, you know, Price Headley, Peter Nigerian, John Nigerian, we were all market makers. We were all market makers. You know, Norman Howe, we were all market makers. We traded on the floor. We're not somebody that's coming out there and saying, oh, this is the Fausto out there. I just invented the new indicator out there. You know, oh, I'm just a great trader. We're been at war. We were on the floor. And this is the same stuff that we see every day. Okay? Now, obviously, we all have a little strategy that works better for us. And it's up to you to find out what exchange you like better to trade that fits in your schedule. But one thing that every speaker here will tell you, which will save you so much money. Number one is to get educated. Number two, get the right brokerage account, which your educator will let you know what would be best for you when you find that right mentor. And number three, they're going to tell you, yeah, absolutely, things get driven up by supply and demand. It's called the KISS method. Anybody ever hear of it? Keep it super simple. Tom is a good question. Honestly, I can't trust any brokers and why I prefer direct access. Well, that's right, and that's why you should prefer direct access, Tom, because you're not depending somebody driving you around where they're trying to make money on your order. You guys ever heard of the phrase? You guys ever heard of something called payment for order flow? Payment for order flow. Ever hear of it? Look at back in the account statement. That's where your brokerage firm is taking your order and selling it to another brokerage firm and getting paid for it. So they're not even buying the stock for you. They're just a middleman. What do you need them for? You could do it yourself. And that's why you'll notice if you look on the New York Stock Exchange, there's nobody down there anymore. It's like a bowl. You could throw a bowling ball. You won't hit anybody, okay? Because stockbrokers, you know, money managers, they're all going to be, you know, they're going to be obsolete soon because you don't need them. The exchanges are you're allowed to do it on your own. And that is the beauty about direct access. So moving on, ladies and gentlemen, with the high frequency trade, you just need to know exactly where the buyers are and where the sellers are. And this is something that I kind of show you on a daily basis. Now, if anybody, once again, would like to come and join me about how to trade in the market, you know, I'll just put the link in there just now. In the meantime, if anybody wants to kind of join me really quick, I'll just pop it in here where you'll be able to join me for my live trading room to see what it's like every day in the real markets in a real webinar with me. Now, let's talk about where we find stocks. Finding them is pretty simple, you know. It's picking the right one that's going to give you the least amount of risk with the most amount of reward. Now, we have winners, we have losers. CNBC is a great place to find stocks. You know, I keep the station on all the time. I actually have 6 monitors when I trade, and one of my monitors is my TV set, so I'm watching it just for breaking news, just to get an idea what's moving on. Now, another great place to find them is a lot of these brokerage firms give you scanners. Now, honestly, I don't care what I trade. I mean, think about it. Do you really care about Coca-Cola? Do you really care about Disney? Do you really care about Yahoo and Amazon? Or are you here just to make money? Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you trade. It's what's going to give you the least amount of risk with the most amount of reward. So the place that I look at is I go through what's called my top 20 list. And what I do with my traders every morning, and this is actually going on in pre-market. Have you guys ever seen pre-market trading? You ever see somebody trading pre-market? That's like the VIP of trading. I'll be like I said, next week, I'll be happy to join me and watch some pre-market trading. You get to see all the orders and everything. That's where I make most of my money. By seeing what's happening in pre-market, you know, lets me know exactly what to execute when the market opens up, and that's it. Now, what I kind of do with my traders is I show you how to scan the market. You know, you hear stocks that are making big moves. You probably heard about the plug trade, the BLDP trade, the CAMTs, and, you know, stocks you probably you keep hearing about, F-cells, you know, you hear all these big movers, you know, that made such big moves over the days. Well, where did you find them? Why did you find them? Because I don't care what they do. I just want to make money. And they're easy to find in the winners and losers list. But the thing is, timing has a lot to do with it. Yes, Herman, all these events are being recorded. So right here, ladies and gentlemen, what you're looking at, here's 9 o'clock, okay? And here's 9:45. Have any of you guys ever heard of the stock called VTUS? VTUS. Ever hear of it? No one ever heard of it? Really? That's great, because I never heard of it either. And I really don't care what VTUS does. All I know is that this stock had unbelievable pre-market trading, okay? And right at the open, the thing went from 270 to 328. Now, does anybody have a calculator? Let's do the math. If you bought 1,000 shares at $2.70 minus, let's just say 320, right? You're talking 50 cents. 50 cents times 1,000 shares is $500. 500 times 5 days a week times 52 weeks a year is $130,000. Now, am I embarrassed to trade a $2.70 stock? Well, we think I care. By the time I figured it out in 15 minutes, I'm out of the position, okay? All I know, I had great volatility, great movement, because timing during the day is critical. This is where you make a lot and most of your money, because what happens in the pre-market is how everyone's going to react that makes the stock make its big moves. And you know what? It's a great question, Gastron's saying it. You know, I know there's a lot of options traders here, okay? And I love options, but let me explain something to you about options. If you want to be a good options trader, you first have to be a good stock trader, because it's the movement of the stock that makes the option move. So if you're waiting for the option to make the move first, guess what? You're behind. Just to kind of let you guys always remember that. Now, here's another stock timing during the day. Here's Plug, one of our big winners. This was a day that I traded 940. This is actually all the orders that I did one day. BLDP, and you can see, you know, kind of had a really good day. But the thing I want to point out is the timing during the day. Look what happened right at 9:30. This stock ran from 635 all the way to 695, give or take. This is like 1040, yeah, 1044, in less than 15 minutes. Did anybody here get the Plug trade? Anybody here traded Plug? The big winner in the stock. You guys probably heard about it in CNBC. You know, CNBC. They're talking about it. You know, about the whole. These are the plugs that they're on, the Tesla. You know, these stocks had big ones. You did carry, but you sold it too cheap, too early. You know what? Does it matter? You made money, right? You know what? You could have made a hell of a lot more money in Plug or BLDP or FCell than you would have made on trading Google. You know, for the amount of money you could have invested on a $6 stock versus a $1,200 stock is a big difference. And you shorted it. All right. Yes, Plug 4 times increased my account about 50%, Jan, for now. That's what Jay is mentioning. That's great. And you know what, Jay, and exactly what you brought up is what my mentors taught me when I did. When I first started, one thing I've learned, the reason why I was losing money, I was trading all the wrong stocks for the right reasons. And what I mean for the right reasons, because I thought I knew about the company and I liked the company, but this is not investing. This is trading. It's a trader's market now. This is not, you know, I mean, we all need to learn how to invest, absolutely. But a lot of you here are probably like on, I don't know, Social Security, maybe you're trading your own IRA, maybe, you know, the market's up and you're trying to figure out what the hell is your mutual fund doing or why your account's down. These are the things that you need to understand how to trade the market. Now, they're not bad guys. It's just that they're looking for their best interest, not yours. Nobody is going to care anything more about your money other than you. And what do you need to do? Learn how to play the game. That's it. And 90% of you guys just don't know how to play. So, and that's what we're trying to do here. That's what this whole thing about the Cyber Expo is all about. Hearing some great market makers telling you their strategies, but also letting you know What is the little things that you need to learn to be very successful at it? And if you do like what any one of us here, you should try every single one out. Now, let's move on about time and sales. I know we're running out of time here because I still got, I don't know, about 10 more slides to go through. Is it possible to see these orders, Martin? Absolutely. Call our office and talk to one of our Forex instructors at Cybertrain University, and they'll be happy to tell you that, okay? Now, time and sales. Time and sales, once again, one of the telltale screens of trading. I know a lot of you here read charts, right? Well, you know where the chart gets its data from? Time and sales. So if you know how to read time and sales and see all these big block orders out there and seeing these people get executed, wouldn't that be great? Then it'll give you a good understanding that you might not need those bar charts on the charts and see, like, what does this mean, all this volume and so on. It's called the KISS method. Keep it super simple. Hey, everybody, what chart's easier to read? Chart number 1 or chart number 2? What do you think? Pretty dumb question, right? Some of you guys get so involved and so technically involved and start implementing all these crazy charts, Bollinger Bands, SMAs, RSIs, pivot points, MACDs, moving averages, bar charts. I mean, next thing you know, you're acting like an analyst and a technician. You ever heard technical analysis paralysis? Keep it super simple. It's called the KISS method. Don't you forget it. It's one of the biggest things we preach at Cybertrain University. Thomas says indicator overload. You'd be surprised. You start experimenting, and you listen to this guy, you listen to that guy. You know what? Who are the best traders on Wall Street? Ladies and gentlemen, who are the best traders? That's right, traders, and a bunch of you saying it. The floor traders. When you watch them trade on the floor, when you see them talk to those traders, look behind them and see if you see any of those charts. So, that's right, Jim. It does look like a spaghetti chart, doesn't it? Actually, you know, in my office, I have 3 wonderful little boys, and my oldest is 13, my youngest is 5, God bless them, and, you know, they always draw me pictures at school, and I hang them up on my office, and if any of you ever have a chance to come and see them, and you can see it, I got about, I don't know, about 30, 40 of them, and I kind of built it almost like a chart. So everybody could see that, because what I see on the screen on my wall looks exactly like what some of these people do on their execution systems. So following rules as a trader. Trading is a job. This is not investing, okay? So you need to know how to trade. And here, just to let you know, this is me, and this is you. You need to have a coach. To be a very good trader, ladies and gentlemen, you need somebody that you can trust, that you feel like you can comprehend and understand what they're talking about. You need to feel and know if this is something you want to do. But every single one of you here, if you want to be successful, you need to have a coach that's going to give you a game plan, that's going to give you a strategy. He's going to show you how to trade on demo mode, going to show you how to analyze your trades. He's going to show you how to keep a diary. I know we have a bunch of sport fans here, okay? Can everyone tell me who's the best golfer in the world? The best athlete, the best golfer? I don't know about that, Keith. James says it was Tiger Woods. Okay, let's just use Tiger Woods because it's a brand name. We all pretty much, a lot of us probably know that. Do you know that Tiger Woods has 4 coaches? Do you really think he needs a coach? LeBron James, you know, Michael Jordan, do you really think they need a coach? Do you really think they need someone to teach them? Yeah, they're gifted, but they have somebody watching them. How about you? Anyone here who gets sick? We need to go to the doctor for. You can't go on the internet and kind of figure out what's wrong with you and try to be your own doctor. What are you going to spend all the money on medical insurance? Yeah, well, we know we're not doing that, okay? See what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? Every single one of you can go out there and be a professional trader. Now, can I say all of you are going to be successful? Absolutely not. Some of you might not have the discipline, the psychology part of it, But the only way you're going to know is you need to sample and listen, and like you're being here, to have somebody kind of give you that, you know, if this is what you want to do or not. Because there are things about trading. Trading is fun. It's a lot of fun. Did I have a coach? Absolutely, Barik. I told you earlier, I had several coaches that trained me. And actually, I'm looking forward to listening to everyone that's here in today's presentation. I've learned something from every single one of the speakers that I'm going to use on Monday morning. Great traders never stop learning. David, it's fun when you win, and you know what? I'll be honest with you, it's pretty, I don't say it's fun when I lose, but I can tell you one thing, I'm not miserable when I lose. It's just a bad day at the office. That's all it is. You know, it didn't work out, no problem. Tomorrow I come back. I'm motivated to come back and make it back tomorrow. You're not going to win on every single trade. Gaston says, I need a coach. You know what? Every single one of you here need a coach. Every one of you. Just please, if anybody could take anything into consideration, and every speaker would tell you this here, please don't be the self-taught individuals of somebody to say, you know what, I read a couple of books, you know, I went to a couple of free webinars. There's nothing, you know, there's nothing that, you know, you're going to learn in 1 hour presentation. It takes time to learn it. Look at it as being spring trading. Just because you're a great athlete doesn't mean you could play in the Super Bowl. Now, moving forward with some of the trades, ladies and gentlemen, let me get back to what I do and how I trade. You know, one thing that I always learn, that my mentors always taught me, says, Fausto, trading is a part-time job. It's not a full-time job. So I want you to understand that when you trade in the market, most of your money is going to be made early in the morning. So, and that's how I got into the education business, because after around 10, 11 o'clock, wasn't too healthy for a 24-year-old to be, I would say, semi-retired. But the thing is, it is a part-time job, and it is, you know, it is a part-time job, and you just need to trade when the market's most volatile, the first hour and the last hour. And Tim, just to kind of mention what you're saying, you know, actually, if I have a book that was just bought out by Wiley, and Wiley is going to be, you can actually buy it on our website right now before they'll raise the price by 3 times in August. But if you want to get a PDF version of it, you can visit CyberTrade University. Just click on the shopping cart, and you could start reading my book right now. So I'm actually pretty happy that, excited that a brand name company like Wiley is going to be publishing it's one, actually, believe it or not, it's one of the first day trading books that are out there on high frequency trade that they ever published. So moving on, ladies and gentlemen, I know we're running out of time here, but I want to kind of get right into it. It's anyone, if you guys want to learn about dark pools also, just feel free to send me an email. I'll put my email. Thank you very much, Jeff. I'm going to give you my personal email address. CTU Corp. Hold on one second. FaustoP@CTUCorp.com. If you want to read an article on dark pools, or if you want to read any of the articles that I've written up on high frequency trade, just send me an email. I put it in the chat room, FaustoP@CTUCorp.com. Be happy to send it over to you. Okay. Now, for some of you who don't know this, mention again, I was a 12-time champion. Also, you're ranked #1 school by Equities Magazine 6 years in a row. If anybody here wants to follow our daily picks, or you want to watch any of the trading videos, you can go to Twitter /CyberTradingU, or you can go to our YouTube channel. Just go to CyberTradingU, and you can you know, watch all our videos, watch all our speakers, including today, or log into your dashboard at CyberTrade University. Okay. The Twitter page is right here on the bottom. Right here. Twitter at CyberTradingU, or you can go to YouTube, CyberTradingU, same thing. We're also on Facebook too, you can do that too, but our 2 main places where we market a lot of the things that we do is on these 2 pages. All right, so how could you learn today? Now, my goal, what I always like to do with students is I like to teach them how to make 200 to 500 a day. It's not a lot. It's making 20 cents, 50 cents a day. So how could I teach you guys? Can anybody here come and watch me trade live in the markets on Monday? Anybody want to watch? Anybody has time to come in and watch me trade live in the market? Okay, a bunch of you. All right, now this is basically, if you guys want to register, this is what I'm going to be offering all of you. Hold on a sec. Let me just fix my my name. Okay, there you go. All right, by my name up here on top, you see my name up there. You see a little pin right there where it says me. If you click on it, it'll bring you to a page that will get you registered. Basically, this is what we're doing. I'm doing a bonus. I actually allow people to join me for 1 week for $19. But for today, I'm running a special. I'm going to give you 2 weeks. 2 weeks to watch and trade side by side with me for 2 weeks for $19. Because some of you, I know you can't be there for 1 week, but as a bonus, if you register today only, as of today, I'm giving you an extra week to follow me. Now, this is a live trading room. It runs all day. I'm trading all day. I do a broadcast the first hour at 9 a.m. So you get to see what's happening in pre-market, and you get to see what happens at 2:30. And you're going to see all high-frequency trading, what's going on. Katie, once again, just it starts on Monday. We only give you a week, but I'm going to give you 2 weeks if you register today only. We only usually do a week. And you know what? You know what the beauty about this whole thing? I always tell my traders, don't judge me by my winners, judge me by my losers. You know, it's funny, you hear everyone talk about the winners, but you never see anybody talk about the losers. And you know what? What's the real reason why most of you are here? If you're all making money, you probably wouldn't be here. A lot of you here need to learn how to trade in the market, how to control losses. So, so if anybody here wants to join me, feel free to click on that link or click on my name and you'll get registered. And here's my personal email address. If you guys have any questions, if you want a copy of the slides, or if you want to get the videos of today, just send me an email. I answer all my emails. We have over 1,000 people here, probably 1,500 over the course of the day. So I might not be able to answer you within the next 24 hours, but I'm going to do my best. I answer all my emails, everyone. Seville, you can do whatever you want. You know, the goal is that you guys are going to be sitting in the driver's seat with a 12-time champion and see what it's like to be in the real trading market, okay? So once again, 2 weeks, you're getting a bonus. Register at cybertradeuniversity.com. You can also give us a call here at 877-70-CYBER. You can talk to any of the instructors also. Now, I got about a minute or two before I bring my next speaker, Andrew Keene, that's coming on next. We'll be happy to sign up today. You could, like I said, you could start whenever you want, Katie, but just talk to an education advisor, and we'll call on Monday, and they'll get you registered. Yes, you are going to see my trade. Absolutely. That's the beauty about what you're going to be seeing. You're going to be seeing all the trades in and out, why we're buying it, why we're selling it. I have several hundred traders that are trading with me, so you're going to get to see, and students that are with me, and you can get to see it, what it's like to be in the real market condition. Sam, yes, you can. When does it start? It starts today, actually. By the way, just to let you guys know, when you register online, you're going to get a training video that's going to teach you how to monitor the high-frequency trade. So don't forget to watch that ECN video. It's a $300 video that we sell, but for today, we'll give it to you to kind of get you up to speed on Monday, okay? I don't recommend it because I didn't teach you. My goal is so you can see what it's like to be in the driver's seat. That's our professional trade. We run 2 rooms. We have a teaching room and a trading room, all right? All right, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm going to give you guys about 10 minutes before I bring my next speaker, okay? And my next speaker is a very good friend of mine, Andrew Keene. And I'm going to do a quick little intro about him in just the next few moments. But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, you can click on my name, and you can click on my name or click on the link and register for that. And like I said, your training is going to be starting on Monday. All right. Thanks, everyone. Stand by. I'm going to give you a 10-minute break, and then we're going to bring in Andrew Keynes and take over where I left off. Thanks, everybody, for coming, and just stand by for the next few